The Power Word Vault. 75 high-converting words and phrases for digital product subject lines. Curiosity, urgency, exclusivity, and ease each have their own vocabulary. Here's the word bank creators can drop straight into their next subject line. Most swipe files hand you full sentences and tell you to fill in the blanks. That's useful for a week. Then every email in your list starts sounding like a template. The more durable skill is knowing which individual words carry which psychological weight, so you can build fresh subject lines on the fly. For the ebook launch on Tuesday, the coaching cohort filling up Thursday, and the flash sale you didn't plan until Friday morning. This vault sorts 75 words and short phrases by the trigger they pull. Curiosity, urgency, exclusivity, ease, and money on the table. Pull from the column that matches what's actually true about your offer, not the one that sounds the loudest. Why sorting by trigger beats sorting by formula? Formula-based swipe files, my ways to outcome, are fine as training wheels, but they fail the moment your offer doesn't fit the shape. A one-on-one coaching call doesn't have 7 ways to anything. It has 1 seat, 1 hour, 1 price. What you actually need is a working vocabulary for the emotional job each email has to do. Make someone curious enough to open, worried enough to act now, or special enough to feel let in. Once you know the word bank for each job, you can write a subject line for any product type in under 30 seconds, and it'll read like you, not like a template someone else already burned out on their list. Curiosity. Words that open a gap. Curiosity works by naming that something exists without fully explaining it. It backfires the instant it feels like clickbait with nothing behind it. So only use these when the email genuinely reveals something new. The rule. If the subject line asks a question, the first line of the email must answer it, or at least gesture at the answer, within 1 sentence. Curiosity that stalls out reads as bait. Urgency. Words with a real clock attached. Urgency is the most abused trigger in email marketing, and also the most reliable when it's true. If your cart doesn't actually close, don't use closes tonight. A discount code that expires and actually gets deactivated is worth more long-term than a fake countdown that trains subscribers to ignore your deadlines. Build the deadline into your discount code settings first, then write the subject line around it. Last call pairs well with a specific hour. Last call. Cart closes at 9 p.m. Closing tonight. Use once the doors are genuinely closing, not, for now, final hours. Strongest sent 3-4 hours before the real deadline. Not the morning of, still open, but not for long. Softer urgency for people who missed the first email. 1 spot left. Only for genuinely capped coaching or cohort seats. Ends at midnight. Concrete, specific, easy to act on immediately. Before it's gone. Works for physical feeling digital bundles, templates, presets. For a real deadline to land, your storefront has to visibly reflect it. A countdown block. A discount that actually expires. A coaching calendar that actually closes. That consistency is what separates urgency that converts from urgency that erodes trust. Exclusivity. Words that make someone feel let in. Exclusivity outperforms discounting for a lot of creator audiences, especially in coaching and membership products, because it sells status rather than price. The trick is making the exclusivity feel earned or specific, not generic. The alone is tired. First 20 people on my list is not. Exclusivity words work because they answer a question the reader is already asking. Why am I getting this email? Give a real answer, and the word does the rest. Ease. Words that lower the perceived effort. A huge, underused category. Digital product buyers hesitate less over price than over hassle. Will this be complicated? Will I have to wait? Will I have to fight with a download link? Ease words directly target that hesitation. and they're especially strong for templates, presets, and Notion-style products where the whole pitch is stop building this from scratch. Done in 10 minutes, copy, paste, done. No more starting from a blank page, instant download, plug and play, skip the guesswork, one click, and it's yours. No calls, no forms, just the file. Instant download isn't just copywriting flourish for store.fan sellers, it's literally accurate. Every purchase triggers automatic delivery, so the buyer gets their file or course access on screen and by email the second the payment clears. That's a promise you can make honestly in a subject line, which is rarer than it should be in this industry. Money on the table. Words for discounts, bundles, and bonuses. These work best sparingly. Exactly the discipline covered in our guide to pricing habits that quietly cap income on the blog. Save these words for real, occasional events. Putting the vault to work. A 3-part checklist. Pick exactly one trigger: curiosity, urgency, exclusivity, ease, or money. Not two stacked together. Pair the power word with one concrete detail. A number, a name, a real deadline, or a price. Read it out loud. If it sounds like an ad, cut a word. Confirm the promise is true. If it says instant, the delivery has to actually be instant. Check it against your last 5 subject lines so you're not repeating the same trigger every time. It's worth saying plainly. None of this vocabulary matters if there's nowhere for the click to land. A great subject line that opens onto a slow, confusing, or broken checkout is worse than no email at all. It burns the trust you just built. If you're sending these words into the world, make sure the storefront on the other end is as tight as a live example store, with clear pricing, one-click checkout, and delivery that actually happens the moment payment clears. Where these subject lines actually send people. This is the part creators skip, and then wonder why open rates are fine but sales aren't. Every one of these words is a promise about what happens next. Instant download needs an actual instant download. One spot left needs a calendar that shows one spot left. Store.fan's built-in broadcast emails and customer list exists specifically, so the sending and the delivering live in the same system. No stitching together a separate email tool and a separate file host and hoping the links don't break between them. If you haven't set that up yet, it takes less time than writing the 10 subject lines you'll test this month to create your store and connect delivery once. A quick reality check. Test one variable at a time. If you change the trigger word and the send time in the same email, you won't know which one moved the number. Keep a simple log. Subject line, trigger used, open rate, click rate. FAQ, subject line power words for digital products. Key takeaways. Subject line power words work because they're specific to one psychological trigger. Mixing 5 triggers in one line dilutes all of them. Curiosity words need a real gap to close. Urgency words need a real deadline behind them, or they train your list to ignore you short. Plain phrases, last call, still open, consistently outperform exclamation-heavy ones for digital product launches. The best subject lines pair one power word with one concrete detail. A number, a name, or a date. Not 2 power words stacked together. Your subject line is only half the job. The linked storefront and checkout have to deliver on the promise in one click. Start your creator store free at store.fan.